Welcome to installing ExoShield Ultra. In this video, we take you through the steps to installing the ExoShield Ultra Jeep Kit. You're going to start by thoroughly cleaning the work area and removing as much dirt and debris as possible from the windshield and surrounding body panels. Cleaning the work area is one of the most important steps in the installation process. A great prep will set you up for success. To do this, you'll want to prepare what we call a slip solution. This is what you'll use for cleaning throughout the process as well as your slip during the install. Mix your slip solution using 3 to 5 drops of Dawn dish soap in any clean spray bottle. Here, we're using a standard pump sprayer. Thoroughly wet the windshield and surrounding panels with your slip solution. Set the spray nozzle to a direct stream by adjusting the nozzle tip and flush out any debris from the gaskets. Lift the wipers to get to the bottom gasket and give the wipers a quick clean at this stage as well. Using a clean microfiber cloth, wipe down the windshield and surrounding body panels. Next, using a tint-safe glass cleaner, like the one shown here, and an ultrafine scrubbing pad, go over the entire windshield to take off any contaminants that are stuck on the glass. If there's already a coating that has been applied to the windshield, you'll want to remove it using a diluted isopropyl alcohol wash before installing ExoShield. Mix 3 parts water to 1 part IPA. Carefully check the windshield for any remaining imperfections and revisit them with your pad if necessary. After using your squeegee to clean the windshield, you're ready to move on to the initial positioning of your ExoShield Ultra film. It's time to fit your piece of ExoShield Ultra to the windshield. Always be careful when handling ExoShield. The edges of the film are extremely sharp and could cut you if you're not cautious. Unrolling ExoShield is easiest with 2 people, one holding the roll while the other handles the film. To prep the windshield for installation, wet the glass with your slip solution. This gives the film something to adhere to while you're checking the positioning. Place the film onto the windshield with the ExoShield side touching the glass, checking the orientation to ensure that there is a 1/16 gap all the way around the windshield. Once ExoShield is in place, tack the middle of the film using a wrapped hard card. From here, you're ready to move on to step 3, releasing the liner. Starting on one corner, grab only the liner and peel it back to release the liner from the adhesive side of ExoShield. We suggest pulling the liner at a sharp angle to avoid having the film pull off of the glass. Continue to spray your solution between the liner and ExoShield while you're releasing the liner to minimize the static charge created and avoid unnecessary contamination being drawn into the install. Once you've peeled the liner back to just over halfway across the windshield, place it back down into its original position. Repeat this on the other side to ensure the liner has been fully released from the adhesive. You'll also want to make sure to wet the entire surface between the liner and the adhesive. This is crucial for the next step to go smoothly. Once you have the liner back in place, you're ready to move on to prepping the windshield for installation. It's time to get your piece of ExoShield Ultra film ready for application. Head back to the same side you began releasing the liner on, and this time, release the film from the windshield. You should have both the liner and ExoShield in your hands at this point. Roll the ExoShield and liner in towards the middle of the windshield. Make sure your roll stays square to the windshield as you roll it up. Now that you have your entire piece of ExoShield Ultra rolled up, clean the windshield one last time before application. Make sure to keep track of the orientation you have ExoShield rolled in so that you know which is the top and which is the bottom edge. In this next step, we're removing the liner completely and introducing the adhesive onto the glass. First, wet the windshield thoroughly so that ExoShield can move freely on the glass. Peel back the liner just a few inches to expose the adhesive to the windshield. Press the adhesive side of ExoShield firmly into place with a 1/16 inch gap on the edge, top, and bottom of the windshield. While holding the film in place on the windshield, start to guide the roll across the windshield by gently pulling the liner. If you have a second set of hands at this point, it's easiest to pass the liner to someone standing on the opposite side of the windshield so that they can continue pulling the liner while you guide the film into place. Once the liner is fully unrolled, ExoShield should move freely on the windshield, allowing for any final adjustments to the fit. Before tacking ExoShield into place, do a thorough inspection on the overall fit. You're looking for a gap of 1/16 inch around the entire windshield. This is the perfect time to lift ExoShield and remove any debris that might have been caught under the film since the adhesive has not yet been activated. Once you have a consistent gap around the windshield and you're happy with the placement of your ExoShield, it's time to tack the film in place. In this step, it's important to make sure that when you tack ExoShield to the glass, it does not shift or move out of place. ExoShield's adhesive is pressure sensitive, which means it does not activate until it's pressed firmly onto the windshield. Using a wrapped hard card, make long, gentle passes moving from the center of the film towards the edge to secure ExoShield in place. During this step, you'll want to remove most of the moisture behind the film, but don't worry if some remains because we'll be doing a final pass with a hard squeegee in the next step. Before we do our final squeegee, make sure to wet the surface of ExoShield. It's very important to always make sure the surface of the film is wet to avoid potential scratches that could happen since you'll be using a lot of force to remove the remaining moisture. Your goal here is to have the vast majority of the film laying completely flat on the windshield by firmly passing over any slight fingers or bubbles that are still remaining. Pass over the entire surface of the film with overlapping strokes as you go. Now, take a step back to assess any areas that might need an extra squeegee pass before you move on to the final cure. At this point in the installation, we recommend giving a quick wipe with a tint-safe cleaner like Invisible Glass and a fresh microfiber. This will allow you to identify any contamination that could be saved before adding heat and curing the edges of the film. To help lay down the edges and speed up the overall cure time, use a heat gun set to low, or a blow dryer on the highest heat and air settings. Work your way around the perimeter of the windshield with a hard card, gently pressing out any remaining moisture around the edge of the install. If possible, try to give a minimum of 2 to 3 hours of cure time before driving the vehicle.